Well, welcome to our very first self-care awareness video. I'm so excited. This one, though, this is our first one. I'm going to lay a foundation for us before we get started. We're going to look at and unpack spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. What does it look like? What's self-care look like? Let's become aware of it in each one of these areas because we want to see how it affects us as a whole. But before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about me for those that don't know me. One, I love health and fitness. I have always had a passion. I've worked in health clubs. I've managed health clubs and sold memberships and raised my kids in the gym, and always have had a passion for health and fitness, which has sort of unfolded into where we are today, or where I am today. Because it's taken me a little bit deeper into more healing and wholeness. And it's been 25, almost 28 years ago, I was like 3 dress sizes bigger. And we lived overseas in Southeast Asia. And it's like, whoa, I don't want to keep, I was almost 40 and it's like, it's probably like 38, 37. And it was like, yeah, almost 40. But I was like, oh my gosh, if I keep going like this, what am I going to be when I'm 50 or 60? I feel like I've hit a wall again. And so I'm just sort of pulling back and reevaluating where I am in my health and in fitness and healing and wholeness. What does all that look like? So that's where the self-care awareness came in about. And so, as I've said, I love to travel. My husband and I travel. We live overseas in Asia for 15 years. And I just have a passion to see women go to another whole level of freedom in every area of their lives. And I realize every area, each one affects the other one. You can't grow in one without it affecting another. And so we're going to look at that physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. How does all that work? And does it work? And where is it and where are we not self-care and have an awareness in that area of our lives? So that's me. I'm your Daily Detox coach, and I'm excited to be here. And so come with me, and let's go on this journey of self-care. So what we're going to experience in this self-care tips, I'm just going to give you tips, and let's see where this goes, because I want your input too. I want to see what your experience has been. I want to see and hear where you are. And have you ever even thought of self-care in this way? But we're going to look at one, spiritual self-care. I put down as I've pondered on this today, it's the willingness to pause and connect with God. How about mental self-care? The willingness to embrace the truth. How many times we think of stinking thinking, so to speak, and it's not truth. It might be our truth of how we see it, but in reality, might not be the truth. So it's the willingness and the courage to go to that place and reevaluate, and let's reset some things. And how about emotionally? That's the willingness to feel. It's the courage, emotional courage of being able to sit in that place of pain, so to speak, of our ups and downs, and ask the question why, and just pause and ponder and connect spiritually of what God's doing in our heart. Because emotions are like road signs. They're symptoms, and they let us know the condition of our heart and where we're at. And physical self-care will be the fourth one we'll unpack. And that's the willingness to express our true self. Not comparing ourselves to others, but being willing to live from that place back in number one, so to speak, back in that place from our heart. Being willing to not be afraid of being who we really are and not trying to cover it up or mask it or deny it or push those emotions down or stinking thinking of negative talk throughout the day about ourselves. So as we go on, what I wanted in this video is to lay a very strong foundation that we are spirit, soul, and body. What is our nature? What are we made up of? We are spirit beings. We have a soul, which is your mind, your will, and emotions, and you live in a body. And that's how we reflect, express ourselves through our bodies. Your spirit will speak the truth, Your soul will affirm that truth, and your body manifests that truth. And so when we see that we're triune beings, that it comes from, your spirit is your life-giving part of you. It's where you meet with God. It's where the Gospels talk about that river of life that bubbles up and overflows into our soul. Our soul submits and comes into that place and willingly opens up to allow what's in our hearts to flow through our soul, and that our body would manifest it. So that's what we're going to do. So in other words, let's look at it this way. Just like a watchmaker. What does a watchmaker do? He takes it apart. He very delicately, intricately looks at each piece. He pulls it apart, greases and oils, or does what all he does. I'm not a watchmaker, so I'm just sort of envisioning this. But then he puts it all back together. He fixes those places. I love this. I just thought, and I had it, as I'm looking at this hand, very delicately tempering with this watch. What's the hand of God going to do in our hearts and in our lives? That's what I'm excited to see unfold. And so are we going to be willing to allow and to sit in that place? And let's see and unpack what it is. What is self-care, to take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? This gift that was given to us. So just like a watchmaker takes apart the watch and puts it all back together so that it functions healthy, so it functions and keeps time accurately. That's what we're sort of doing here, is unpacking. But we're not the one doing the work. We're just like being willing to come into this place and take some time and to allow God to come and the hand of God to come into our lives and tweak those areas. I don't want to say change, but maybe transform those areas of our hearts. And that's affecting us in so many other areas of our lives. And so I'm excited. And so this was just an introduction of what these next few videos will be about. And so as I wanted to keep it short. And so as I come to your health challenge for today, here on the East Coast, it's about 10:20. I made it. I said, I promise I'll put a video out today. But your health challenge for today, for those in Asia that are waking up on that side of the world, over in England or wherever you might be watching from, I want you to comment below. And I want you to tell me what areas of your life, spirit, soul, and body, are you willing to open up and allow the hand of God to come and just sort of touch very gently health, healing, and wholeness. And so the verse that came to me is a very typical one that I think a lot of spirit, soul, body verses fall under, so to speak, is First Thessalonians 5:23. Now, and this is my prayer over you as well, now may the God of peace and harmony set you apart, making you completely holy, and may your entire being, your spirit, soul, and body be kept completely flawless in the appearing of our Lord Jesus, the Anointed One. So bless you, girls. Let's see how this is going to take shape. And so just your challenge for today is to ponder on that verse, to ponder in the area and just sort of submit to my spirit, soul, and body, to submit. Let your will choose to submit to what's going to take place in your heart through this, self-care awareness, spirit, soul, and body. So bless you and have a good evening and a good day for those that are just waking up. And we will talk to you later and see you in the next video.